trying to describe you so that in the story that we covered on that concert in December, I was trying to describe what you looked like to the many viewers. And it came to me, I said, well, I think Amber is somewhere a cross between Madonna and Jewel. Do you think that was a fair assessment?
That is really funny. That's really funny. I have a lot of people saying, you know what, in this video, you really look like Jewel. You really have like certain features of Jewel. And people give me a lot of Madonna lately too, because of the music style. They hear the song Spiritual Virginity on my album and they say, oh, this is a kind of Madonna-ish song, or which is never my intention to
emulate anyone
else.
Yeah. You do have your own style, and you're very unique.
I mean, you try to, you know, really go from what you feel at that moment, but I don't have a problem with it.
We hope you're enjoying this week's profile of Amber. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with much more after these important messages. Since her arrival in the U.S., Amber's career has been on full throttle, and as her popularity soars, so does her responsibility as a role model, something Amber takes very seriously. Let's go back to our host, Mickey Burns, with singer Amber.
Did you know that when you touch me, baby, that it's torture? Brush up against me, I get chills all down my spine. When you talk to me, it's painful. You don't know what to do to this heart of mine. Don't make this one-dimensional. The way I feel is sexual. The way I feel is sexual. It can just be intellectual. The way I feel is sexual. The way I feel is sexual.
In your music videos, you photograph beautifully.
Oh, thank you very much. I wrote the basic script myself from the last video, Sexual, and I'm very happy with the outcome. I think it became really a great video.
Sexual was such a huge hit.
Still is.
It still is, you know, it's
Doesn't
true.
stop.
It doesn't, but that's good. That's a good thing. And I understand it's an international hit as well. What motivated you to do this song, number one? And number two, I understand that where you come from in your country, that the view on sexuality is much more liberal than it is in this country. Could you explain that?
Oh yeah, we're very unconventional and very liberal in our country. We believe that if you talk about an issue or a problem, or let's say sexuality, teen pregnancy, whatever, you prevent a lot of things. While over here, when you hush things, they think hushing things down is a better way to prevent things, and we believe in the total opposite. And that's why when you look at our teen pregnancy rates, they're very low, because we talk about it and we don't make a big deal out of it. This song came about, I wrote this song actually with Billy Steinberg and Rick Knowles in 1997. And I said, you know, I really would love to write a song about my sexuality, perceiving it as a woman. And because, you know, whenever you listen to radio, you hear all these booty songs from guys out there that are very disrespectful, that are very fleshy, very chauvinistic, very like shake this, shake that. And it's like, ew, you know, a lot of women feel uncomfortable dancing to those kind of songs, you know. It's just not right, because this is definitely not the way we perceive sexuality. And I think in the year 2000, where we're at right now, guys still don't seem to understand that we need communication, we need fantasy, we need creativity, we need a little bit more playfulness within sexuality. And it's not about a 36 double D bra size, it's about an inner feeling that you have. And so Billy had these lyrics there that were almost finished, and it was called Sexual, and I looked at it and I said, wow, this is perfect. You know, he really wrote it from a female point of view. And we finished the track in half an hour. And I re-listened to it after we taped it, and I said, you know what, this is just a really, really amazing track. It's just, you know, it has deep lyrics to it, it's It has a good theme to it, but it's very acceptable for women, for females, to feel sexual and to feel good about themselves and not make it dependent on a size or whatever. And it was amazing to see that the thought that I had has been accepted by the women out there in the audience so much. I mean, I get letters every day, people telling me how good they think the song is and how big of a change it made in their life. And I think automatically from how the women were perceiving this song, the guys looked at the women at that point and said, hey, this song got to be good. So we might as well go out and get it too.
Okay.
So.
Sometimes the best part of sexuality is between the ears, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's about, you know, the
You can
creative
use that
part.
line in your next song.
Yeah.
Okay, between the ears.
Between the ears.
I know also you take very seriously the fact that you are becoming a role model. And a lot of performers don't want to touch that. They say, well, I'm not a role model. But you do take that seriously, don't you?
I take it serious to the point as where you cannot help it to be one. It's not that I want to be set up as one, but obviously in this position, people are looking up to you and they take you very serious and they listen very, very carefully to what you sing, to what you say. And you have to make sure that you do your best to live up to their standards or as much as you want to see the world around you. And so I write lyrics. For me, it's a therapy to write off all the problems because I have issues too, like everybody else. But sometimes I have lyrics that are very, very deep and go to an end where I think back and say, if I would make a song out of this, how would people perceive that one? And how would they act up and live up to that? So I have this one lyric that's called I Don't Want to Live Anymore. It's really a suicidal song about a person that lost a relationship. And I put it to the side and I said, you know what, I might endanger somebody with that, or give them an idea of, you know, what to do with themselves at that particular point. And even though you cannot help every situation because you're not God, you know, you can't, but at least I'm rethinking things when I'm writing that it's getting perceived.
And how it will affect others.
Yes, exactly. I don't want to, you know, I really want to make sure that everything has a positive message to it and people are not harming each other or doing something that is fatal.
Kids are very impressionable, especially with the stars that they look up to.
Oh yeah, I think
And
especially.
you can have a profound impact on them.
I think especially in the United States, they have this, it's a big heroism, I always say issue, it's almost a problem that they have here in the United States. Whereas people ask me, who do you look up to? Who do you idolize? I said, you know, for me, it's my mom, because I know my mom professionally, I know my mom personally, and that's how I can look up to a person. Just because a person is good at sports, for instance, and makes tons of money, that doesn't mean I can look up to this person because I don't know what he's doing at home.
Or does he have character?
Yeah, does he have character? Does he have, you
good
know,
heart?
exactly,
Does he have a conscience?
exactly, exactly. You never know. And I mean, unfortunately, you watch TV and you watch the news and you see a lot of these people who were role models to certain people messing up big time.
Letting us down again.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a very dangerous,
It sure is.
fragile subject.
It sure is. Now, when you sit down, you're also developing a reputation as a fine songwriter. Talk around town, so Amber, she has a lot to say, and she can write good music. When you sit down to write a song, how do you start?
Well, how do I start? I think it can
You
be
do
any day.
Music first?
No.
Lyrics first?
I do
How
always
do you
lyrics
get started?
first. I always do lyrics first. For me, like I said before, it's a therapy. I go through a certain situation, and I'm thinking, sometimes, you know, when you talk to a person, you communicate, it only puts oil on the fire. You know what I mean? So for me, the best thing is sometimes to just write it off, and I write it down in rhymes. And then I'm collaborating with a guy in Germany that I've been collaborating with for the past 12 years. And he understands exactly what I'm saying, and he tries to reflect the lyrics into music. And I give him like a rough line, a rough singing line over the phone, because of course we hardly get to see each other.
Right.
And then by the time I get back to Germany to spend some time with him, we sit down and go over it, and he really puts the stuff down the way I want to hear it. He knows me inside out, and I know him inside out, so it's really a great collaboration.
And also, you spend a lot of time with the dancing too. I know I saw your stage act, and there's a lot of work goes into that, I'm sure as well.
Well, I'm trying to keep that limited because unfortunately these days people expect you to have like little dance steps going on,
Sure
da da da.
do.
But the thing is, you have to, or at least I'm singing live constantly, so you're getting out of breath. It's not that you can hop
working.
around and then you hit all these high notes at the same time. So I try to keep it limited, but you have to go with the flow a little there because people like to see a little moving thing going on.
My mind